Hello, everyone. Just went ahead and signed in a few minutes early, maybe a minute early. Please say hello in the chat. Hope everyone is doing good today. Top messages. If you are doing well, I know I said that. At the ticker at the bottom that I've got scrolling down there, it's a link to go to juniorsHouseCAC.org. It's got a lot of important information there describing the different types of abuse. And also, they're going to have a walk, the 19th Annual Blue Ribbon Walk, May the 11th, 2023. Not too bad, huh? I'm glad you're here. Thanks for showing up, Merle. And I hope you get to feeling better soon. You are welcome at Junior's house, CAC, which CAC stands for Child Advocacy Center. Because kids shouldn't have to be hurt. Our mission is to bring abused kids into a safe space to begin the healing process. The reason a lot of people here, they're in Tennessee, they might decide to come and try to make it to the Lincoln County Fairgrounds to do this special 19th annual Blue Ribbon Walk to support against child abuse. So the special guest is to be announced. We hope you will choose to be a Blue Ribbon sponsor and help us to continue to provide free, vital services to child abuse victims. We rely on community support to ensure no child is turned away. Down in the bottom in a few minutes, I'll show you how Junior's house came into effect. I'm just make it bigger for y'all. Can you see that okay, Earl? This is how Junior's house in Fayetteville, Tennessee came to be. On a warm July day in 1996, Detective Joyce McConnell was called out to a horrific scene. What she found was a small, pale, cold, lifeless body discarded on the hood of a car, covered in blood, urine, feces, and flies. The small 6-year-old child, Junior, died in his sleep after being beaten repeatedly in his stomach and body. This beautiful little boy did not get to attend first grade. He did not get to celebrate another birthday or Christmas. He was not allowed the chance to grow up and experience life. Junior's time on earth was limited. We want Junior's House Incorporated to be all those things that Junior did not have. A warm, safe place where children can come to disclose their abuse and begin their healing. I had an interview with this lady as well, and her name was Amy Nix, and she was supposed to send me out more information, but I think I need to get back in touch with her to let her know I never received the information on Junior. I believe what had happened was he kept running in front of the TV when his dad was playing a game or watching TV, and his dad got mad and beat him to death. He got angered because of that. All right. So first, I want to go to About Us. Okay, it says Meet the Staff. I'm not going to go to that. Members of the team, news and events, past events, links. We're going to go to infos and answers, okay? At Junior's House Incorporated, Child Advocacy Center want to be a source of information for everyone in a community interested in the welfare of our children. If you can't find an answer to your question here, we hope that you will call us at 931 438 3233 or email us at crystal@juniorsHouseCAC.org. They will be glad to give people interviews as well. They want to get the information out about this. So feel free for any YouTubers or anybody out there who's got a radio program to contact this place and interview them, because that's their job, is to get the information out. Definitions of child abuse. Here's what is child abuse. Although there are many formal and acceptable definitions of child abuse, the following is offered as a guide. Child abuse consists of any act or commission or omission that endangers or impairs a child's physical or emotional health and development. Child abuse includes any damage done to a child which cannot be reasonably explained and which is often represented by an injury or series of injuries appearing to be non-accidental in nature. Here's major forms of child abuse. Physical abuse, any non-accidental injury to a child. Put that in mind again. Non-accidental means on purpose. This includes hitting, kicking, slapping, shaking, burning, pinching, hair pulling, biting, choking, throwing, shoving, whipping, and paddling. Put in mind, if you hit a child, like there's this one case in Texas that a friend had notified me about. This little girl came tugging on the mother's boyfriend's jacket. She was trying to get him to stop arguing with the mother, so she just kept tugging on his coat. He got mad. He backhanded her, which backhanded, yeah, that's bad enough in itself. But sometimes you don't really realize what position somebody's in. Because this child, when she was backhanded, it sent her body flailing through the air, went down the steps at the bottom of the stairs, in which she died from her injuries. Okay, sexual abuse. Any sexual act between an adult and a child. This includes fondling, penetration, intercourse, exploitation, pornography, exhibitionism, child prostitution, group sex, oral sex, or forced observation of sexual acts. Fondling is touching and groping. I don't have to talk about what penetration or intercourse is. Exploitation is anything they can get your pictures and exploit it, or they could send you a picture of themselves exploiting that. Pornography, exhibitionism, all that is considered sexual abuse. XA. Neglect. Now, I was neglected as well. I was physically abused and I was sexually abused. Here, I was, like I said, neglect as well. Failure to provide for child's physical needs. This includes lack of supervision, inappropriate housing or shelter, an adequate provision of food and appropriate clothing for season or weather, abandonment, denial of medical care, and inadequate hygiene. Then there's emotional abuse. Any attitude or behavior which interferes with a child's mental health or social development. You'll see that? That interferes with. So stop calling the child mental. Stop calling the child you're too you're too sentimental, quit being a crybaby. You're right there impacting and interfering with this child's behavior. You are abusing them emotionally. This includes yelling, screaming, name calling, shaming, negative comparisons to others. Yeah, we hear that a lot, like your sister did a better job than you. Oh, you hear that even from spouses at times, like the one spouse say, the ex spouse of mine used to treat me better. I hear that all the time from other people. Telling them they're bad, no good, worthless, or a mistake. It also includes a failure to provide the affection and support necessary for the development of a child's emotional, social, physical, and intellectual well being. This includes ignoring lack of appropriate physical affection, which is hugs, not saying I love you, withdrawal of attention, lack of praise, and a lack of positive reinforcement. Now, here is signs of symptoms of each, all right? A lot of people have told me they would like to know more about this. So I'm bringing the awareness straight from juniorsHouseCAC.org. This is their information, which I'm trying to promote them, and hopefully people will go and sponsor them and maybe even go on, take out walk to help support the Blue Ribbon awareness. The following are a few of the physical and behavioral indicators of child abuse and neglect. Physical abuse, unexplained burns, cuts, bruises, or welts in the shape of an object. Bite marks, antisocial behavior, means you don't want to socialize with others. You want to try to stay away from everybody. You want to stay hidden, basically. Problems in school, fear of adults. Emotional abuse is apathy, depression, hostility or stress, lack of concentration, and eating disorders. That's right, y'all. Even eating disorders. You tell your kid, oh, you're too fat. Well, you think that's going to lead them? Sexual abuse. Inappropriate interest or knowledge of sexual acts. 2. Another part of that, the proof behind it, the evidence behind it. This is, like I said, a few of the physical and behavioral indicators. So if your child is indicating inappropriate interest or knowledge of sexual acts, like if they're touching between their legs, such as nightmares and bedwetting, drastic changes in appetite, over-compliance or excessive aggression, fear of a particular person or family member. Okay, then there's neglect. Here's the signs and symptoms that this has been done. Unsuitable clothing for weather, dirty or unbathed, extreme hunger, apparent lack of supervision. We've seen a lot of this in the Summer Wells case as well. Sorry, but I'm going to be honest here. Statistics: 1 in 4 girls will be sexually abused before their 18th birthday. 1 in 6 boys will be sexually abused before their 18th birthday. There are over 1,550 reports of child physical, sexual, or emotional abuse and neglect in the 17th district judicial district, averaging over 390 reports per month. But reminder about this, because there are so many cases that have not been reported. So these statistics are a guesstimate. These are not a true number because so many, as I said, are not reported. Help for kids and teens. If someone is hurting you, tell someone. Do not keep it a secret. If you are sexually abused, tell a trusted adult or friend. If that person does not believe you or listen, tell someone else. By telling someone, the abuse can stop and it may help someone else from getting hurt. You need to notice these key points right here. No one has the right to abuse you. If you are being abused, you are a victim. It's not your fault if you are treated this way. You are not alone. Other kids suffer abuse too. Even some adults do as well. Not just children, but you're not alone in abuse. There's other kids that suffer this. There's other adults. There's other people. There's animals that even the kids really do tie in well with animals. Sometimes abusers scare or threaten kids so they won't tell. There are people who care about you, who will listen and want to help you. There's safe versus unsafe touching. Child sexual abuse can take many forms: obscene phone calls, exposure, showing a child nude photos, touching body parts, oral, vaginal, anal intercourse. Child sexual abuse is not the same as fond and playful ways of showing love. No, if you want to hug your child goodnight from a parent, that's normal. Say I love you in a loving parental way, not in a sexual, sick way. Excuse me. How to help a friend. Believe your friend if they tell you something had happened. They will need your support. Listen carefully and do not laugh. Help them report someone who can help: counselor, child advocacy center, child protective worker, law enforcement, teacher. Let your friend know that the abuse is not their fault. Respect their privacy. Let them know you care. I remember one time that we had a bus driver that us girls on the bus, we hated being the last one off the bus once we got to the school because we knew that the bus driver was going to pat that girl's bottom. We felt it was wrong. So one girl said, I don't like this. I'm tired of it. I said, well, let's go to the principal's office. So we go to the principal's office and stuff, and she told her thing, and I told my thing, and then maybe I would ended up telling the principal more about me really being abused at home. Also, when I was called to the office, and he wanted me to talk to him about that, about something I felt like it was about that, but but all because the fact that he told me that he did not believe that he touched the other girls, but he believed I was touched, but he didn't believe that they were touched, and he said he would believe me. But I said they were touched, but still he didn't believe me on that, and he discounted them being touched when I told him they were being touched as well. So now I understand now why I didn't go ahead and share that with him about my abuse at home. I've been beating myself up like, so why didn't I? Now I just came to terms with that's why. Well, just reading this, it just came to me. Internet safety. Never give out personal information such as name, address, or phone numbers. Even if you think it's somebody you know, somebody could have hacked into, per se, family members' Facebook page or whatever. Your family member would have your number usually. Um, don't give it out to people unless you generally know. Go ahead and make sure that this person gets on video chat with you. Look at their picture, look at their video. If they say that I can't get on video, something's very wrong with that a lot of times. I can understand if it's an older person like a great grandma or grandma who might not have that knowledge or something to be able to get on there to get it, but I doubt she would have been one on Facebook anyway because she wouldn't be tech savvy. But it says never post or send photos of yourself, never chat with anyone online that you do not know, and never agree to meet a person. Like I was saying that again, where it's dangerous, make sure that you are actually talking with somebody. Because I had a friend who thought he was talking to a friend that he known years ago. The person needed money, so he went ahead and sent her money. Well, she never came or nothing. So what had happened was her account got hacked. And so it was not actually her. And so he got scammed from this person who hacked into this per se person's Facebook account. Got to be careful, people. How to report abuse. The Tennessee Department of Children's Services is mandated by law to investigate reports of suspected child abuse and neglect. Immediately report your suspicions by calling Tennessee Child Abuse Hotline at 877-237-0004. You can reach the toll-free number 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You may also call Lincoln County Sheriff's Department, Fayetteville City Police Department. Protect yourself. Do not be alone with someone that hurts you or if you don't feel safe with them. Listen to the little voice inside when it tells you something is not right. If anyone touches you in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable, say no. Go to a safe place and tell a trusted adult. Never keep secrets about touching. They'll say, keep this between us. It's a secret. Anytime you feel mixed up about a touch, tell the person to stop and talk to a trusted adult about it. And here's what we need to know as we are parents. All right, this is what we really need to know. Child sexual abuse is a hidden crime. There is no profile of an abuser, but there are signs that you can be aware of. Child sexual abuse can happen regardless of age, race, or income. One of every four girls will be sexually assaulted before she's 18. One of every six boys will be sexually assaulted before he is 18. But then again, I said we don't know the true numbers because so many do not go reported. At least 80% of the time, children know the offenders, most often a trusted parent or caretaker. It goes back to safe versus unsafe touching. Child sexual abuse can take on many forms that range from verbal, non physical abuse to forcible touching offenses. It can range from a single encounter by a stranger to an occasional confusing relationship with someone they barely know to years of ongoing abuse by family members to rape or exploitation. By teaching body safety, you will not scare your child or make him or her afraid. You'll be giving them the skills to stop unsafe touching. They'll feel strong and in control knowing they can help and protect yourself. There was one time when I thought, are you still here, Merle? There was one time I thought it was safe. and it really wasn't. An older cousin, it was my great uncle, his son. He had a crooked lazy eye. I got him in my book too. But it was scary because he would get me between his legs, and the game that adults would do a lot of times, and then they'll have you and then they'll swing you between their legs like a regular swing and stuff, and that was all innocent, okay? But when he kept doing it, and then bringing it closer and closer to his private, where my body was actually rubbing against his private, then I felt the strangeness that it's talking about. I felt like this was weird. It was strange. I was 9, 10 years old. I was like, what's he doing? I've got an awkward feeling. It's things like that's talking about. If you got a strange feeling about it, go tell somebody. Let them know. Talking with your children. You can begin teaching body safety rules as soon as they understand. Don't wait for them to ask questions or until after something has happened. As I was saying, that cousin that did that, um, my dad had stepped out of the house and yelled for me to come to the car, said they're leaving. But my cousin grabbed my arm, forcibly made me go into the house, forcibly pushed me on the bed, was undoing his pants, got out his, you know, and then my dad yelled, "You better come out now." He let me go. Thank God that cousin had let me go. I got away from being R8. He was in the process of RAing me, being a rapist. Talking with your children, you can begin teaching body safety rules as soon as they can understand. Don't wait for them to ask questions or until after something has happened. Talk about names for private body parts. Let them know that you are open to share with them. Play what if games. Be aware of adults or older kids that spend time with your children. Most touching is safe, some is not. It's not their fault if someone sexually abuses them. They should never keep secrets about touching. It's never too late to tell. They had the right to say no. Don't panic. Lead your children. Make a report. Help yourself. Bring a parent. Excuse me. Oh man. You wipe my eyes a minute. Being a parent. It's not easy, and it's okay to get help. If you feel troubled, lonely, inadequate as a parent, unable to cope, depressed, and overwhelmed, you can get help. If you sometimes physically hurt your children, feel confused about your sexual feelings towards your children, or if you were mistreated as a child and now repeating your past, please call. You may call the Tennessee Parent Helpline at 1-800-356-6767 or the Child Advocacy Center. Here are ways to report abuse, in which I put it at my YouTube down in the section which describes the descriptive box. Hit more, and you have these numbers that Child Abuse Hotline. You can reach a toll-free number 24 hours a day, and then you can call Lincoln County Sheriff's Department, Fayetteville City Police Department, Moore County Sheriff's Department, Lewisburg Police Department, Marshall County Sheriff's Department, Bedford County Sheriff's Department, or Shelbyville Police Department, or one that's in the area. Or also call 1-800-4-A-CHILD. They are open 24 hours a day. 1-800, the number 4, a child. Okay? I like the fact, when they're going over this, they speak about forensic interviews. We're going into how They're going about the programs and services. Then there's forensic interview. Highly trained forensic interviewers provide complete interviews in a safe, child friendly environment for alleged child victims of sexual or severe physical abuse. These rooms are arranged for video monitoring to obtain accurate and reliable information. The goal of a forensic interview is to reduce the number of interviews a child victim experiences regarding allegations of sexual or severe physical abuse. It is a process used to gather factual information from a child victim in a sensitive manner, focusing on the child's developmental level and emotional needs. For more information or any information you'd like to contact, please contact Crystal at juniorsHouseCAC.org. And then when they're talking about therapy, the therapist is trained to work with children and adolescents who have been victims of abuse. They use a variety of modalities and techniques to create a supportive and safe environment. Through therapy, our goal is to reduce lifelong trauma and its resultant behavior in sexuality and physically abused children. It will also reduce re-victimization of these children. Treatment length and type depends on the individual case and nature of abuse. Professionals at the center follow the case and provide the consistencies required for positive change until services are no longer needed. If a medical exam or other services are required, appropriate referrals are made. Information is provided for child victims and non offending caregivers who may be testifying in court. So when it goes with a family advocacy center, with the family advocacy, I'm getting tongue tied here, Merle. Non offending caregivers. The non offending caregivers often feel overwhelmed when confronted with child abuse. Staff at the Child Advocacy Center facilitates sessions with these caregivers. The counselor consults with the caregivers on the child's treatment progress and helps them to develop a plan for the child and their family. The family advocate will assist in making appropriate referrals and victims' compensation when needed. Parents. Parenting is a challenging job. The parent support groups provide parents with tools and skills other parents and experts find successful. Parents can provide powerful support and encouragement for each other. Parents learn effective intervention strategies, positive ways to support their children, and will develop a community support group. Body safety program. This is very important, y'all. It said educational program for kindergarten through sixth grade that provides children with the knowledge to recognize and avoid abusive situations. For more information on this, so that you can find out how to teach this to your children, contact Crystal Guest at Crystal at juniorshousecc.org. There's a program out there that says My Body is My Body. And I went to that link, and it's got a whole web of information. It teaches you, and you get to download the song, and then you become a supporter of that as well, teaching the kids the safety. Now, there's team coordination and tracking, which I got right here, the contact numbers down here. They're required to maintain the strictest confidentiality. It will not release any case-specific information except for when it's mandated to do so by a court order. These co-located agencies work together when a report of abuse is received. There's no duplication of effort. Evidence is thereby collected more efficiently, and repetitive victim interviews are eliminated. Investigations proceed swiftly. The child victims promptly receive care and treatment. See that, care and treatment? Prosecutions of offenders are more successful. All information gathered is protected by confidentiality laws. The Advocacy Center works with the CPIT and tracks each case to ensure proper services are provided and that prosecution is pursued. It really needs that. Education and training. Child Advocacy Center provides child abuse prevention and awareness presentations and drug education to the community and child serving professionals. These trainings include recognizing signs and symptoms of child abuse, methods of abuse prevention, and how the system works. And it said, be sure to contact the center at 931-438-3233 to schedule a presentation or training workshop. Information packets and literature may also be obtained at the center. Wow. It's a world of knowledge, you all. Stewards of Children. Darkness to Light Stewards of Children Prevention Program. Stewards of Children is a revolutionary sexual abuse prevention training program that educates adults to prevent, recognize, and react responsibly to child sexual abuse. The program believes and teaches that child safety is an adult's job. Stewards of Children is designed for organizations that serve children and youth. Junior's House Child Advocacy Center has trained facilitators who offer this course each year. Follow us at Facebook or call us for upcoming training dates. You can also take the training online at the link provided above. Visit the Stewards of Children website. I'm going to see if I can click on that. There's how it looks, you all. Additional training, please exit this message. So it says Darkness to Light. It's the Stewards of Children. Prevention training featuring real people and real stories about protecting children from sexual abuse. That is very important. But we can go to this another time. And you get back to over here. And then when you report abuse, they expect the more information provided, the more effective CPS can be when investigating the case. So provide as much information as you can. The address, the home, and where the child can best be located. Phone numbers, child's age or date of birth, child's condition, injuries, any emotional, behavioral, or physical problems the child may have, name of siblings or others that may be involved, identify a person responsible for abuse, neglect, if known. If the child is in immediate danger, call 911. They can respond immediately and will inform CPS. Okay. And then there's the state hotline, which I gave some of this earlier. But to report suspected child sexual abuse, call the following number. Tennessee Child Abuse Hotline, 1-877-237-0004. You can reach this toll-free number 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And like I said, these other numbers I've got in my description box. Thank you. Let me get this over here to the side. It wants to kind of fuss with me. You can help. There's ways you can help. There's donations, which is money, memorials, gift ideas, and kind donation of service or tangible items. Yeah, that's how they do that. Also, there is you volunteer, or the foundations, the Child Advocacy Center and CASA program. They provide support to children and families served by the center through the following volunteer roles: CASA, special event, board of directors, maintenance, junior helper volunteer, volunteer to help with small jobs when needed, and have no contact with children, mostly for school children, community service workers, and interns. Interns do a background check. Special event volunteer, volunteered to help with special events such as blue ribbon walks, banquets, Christmas parties, summer camp. Volunteer will more than likely only work large special events. No background check needed to know individual work with children. Blue ribbon volunteer. Volunteer to help with several activities at Junior's house. May be called on to assist at satellite office and almost be looked at as an extension of an employee. This position will require a background check since you possibly be working with children. If you're interested in becoming a volunteer, please call 931-438-3233. That's if you have time and the ability to give out. And so, ways to give. Would you like to donate to Junior's House? There are several common items that they need. It says right here. If you can make a donation, they need copy paper, legal size copy paper, envelopes all sizes, tissue paper, small bottles of water, small journals, bags of candy for training and events, Capri Suns or similars, markers, dish soap, 13-gallon trash bags, snack-sized chips, 2-liter sodas, Swiffer pads, Clorox wipes, 33-gallon trash bags, individually wrapped snacks, canned sodas, cleaning supplies, paper towels, poster boards, batteries, toilet paper, Play-Doh, small bottles of bubbles, laminating sheets. I think I need to start making some collections on that and try to see if we can get ways to have some of this stuff delivered to them. Along with accepting donated goods, we also accept monetary donations. If you would like to give online, visit our donations page. If you would like to give of your time, ask about becoming a board member with Junior's House, or ask about becoming a CASA and work directly with abused and neglected children. You can also help us to recruit volunteers by scheduling us to speak at your church or civic organization. I think I need to try to make a copy of this as I'm doing that, so I can go ahead and print that to documents. Just do that. Do that in my documents. Okay. Ways to give Junior's House. Okay. Okay, and of course, like I said before, the Blue Ribbon Walk. Your support directly benefits an abused child in the 17th Judicial District. Become a sponsor and ensure no child is turned away. Like I said, May 11th, 2023 at 9:30 a.m. in person at Lincoln County Fairgrounds. Special guest to be announced. Due to COVID-19, how we connect looks different. Unfortunately, not only does Aspires not stop child abuse, many reports are predicting an increase in the number of child abuse victims. We have continued to serve children in the community during this pandemic and continue to need your support. We hope you will choose to be a Blue Ribbon sponsor and help us to continue to provide free vital services to child abuse victims. We rely on community support to ensure no child is turned away. See right there, 700,000 children are physically abused in America each year. No family is ever charged a fee. Wow. And it's become a CASA volunteer, advocate for abused and neglected children to help ensure that each child has a safe, permanent, loving home. This says contact Karen. Of course, then once you go to Junior's House or then CASA up here, and it says, what is CASA? Every day in this country, 1,900 children become victims of abuse or neglect, and 4 of them will die. Every day. Court appointed special advocates, CASA, for children is a network of 933 community based programs that recruit, train, and support citizen volunteers to advocate for the best interests of abused and neglected children in courtrooms and communities. Volunteer advocates that are empowered directly by the courts offer judges the critical information they need to ensure that each child's rights and needs are being attended to while in foster care. National CASA volunteers stay with children until they are placed in loving permanent homes. For many abused children, a CASA volunteer is the only constant adult presence in their lives. A court appointed special advocate volunteer with Junior's House is a trained citizen who is appointed by a judge to advocate for the best interest of an abused or neglected child in court. Our CASA volunteers are nothing short of everyday heroes. Junior's House and CASA. The mission of Junior's House is to train community volunteers to advocate for abused and neglected children to help ensure a swift and sensitive journey through the court system. CASA believes that every child needs and deserves a safe, permanent, loving home. Becoming a CASA volunteer allows you to positively affect the trajectory of the lives of the children that Junior's House serves. You can help. You can have lifelong positive effects on children in our community. Duties and responsibilities of CASA volunteers ensure that the child's best interests are represented at every stage of the cases. Report any new incidents of child abuse or neglect to the CASA supervisor and appropriate authorities. Maintain complete confidentiality regarding information about the child, as well as information regarding other parties involved in the case unless otherwise instructed by the court. Conduct an independent investigation which includes reviewing records and interviewing appropriate parties involved in the case, including the children, parents, guardian, relatives, DCS caseworkers, GAO attorneys, teachers, foster parents, and or any person with relevant information about the children. Maintain complete records and documentation about the case, including appointments, interviews, and information gathered about the child or children. Consult with CASA volunteer as to findings and review the ongoing progress of the case. Facilitate prompt, thorough review of the case. Participate in face-to-face contact with the child or children, at least monthly or more as directed by the volunteer supervisor. Attend all court hearings, foster care reviews, and all other hearings and meetings which pertain to the children. Submit recommendations concerning the case to the court in a signed written report. Complete and provide accurate and timely forms, including case information and volunteer activity as required. Have questions about CASA duties and responsibilities, or if you're ready to get started, contact Karen, it says. So there's qualifications for becoming a CASA volunteer. Volunteers shall be majority age and successfully completed screening requirements, which include a written application, personal interview, references, criminal background investigation, and 35 hours of pre-service training. Excellent reading, oral, and written communication skills. Respects and relates to individuals from various backgrounds and cultures in a caring and sensitive manner. Exhibits professionalism in appearance and behavior. Willing to accept training, supervision, and evaluation for CASA stuff. All right. So I want to thank you for coming here, William, Earl. Thank you so much for being here. I don't know who else in here with us, but I thank everyone who is here, and I appreciate you. And if you can, please support this organization. Anybody that advocates for children, anybody that stands up for children, we need to do our best to get the word out and keep this movement going on protecting our children. They are our future. They are a gift from God. They're not a burden. Well, thank you so much for coming, and I appreciate you so much. And may God bless you.